Hello everyone, the Trail Guy here. I just wanted to let you know we're going to start with the quote of the week. The quote of the week is, "Winning isn't everything, but making the effort to win is." And that's by Vince Lombardi, NFL coach. Just wanted to let you know for the last 50 years they've been misquoting that quote. This is the true quote. A lot of them say winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. Wrong. This is the right way. It's the effort to win. So that's the quote of the week, everyone. Now we're going to get into more of the smart running, staying injury-free. Now I want to pick out stretching, for example. It's a good idea to stretch after a run, not before. So stretch after the run. I touched on the 48-hour concept last week, and then I said rotate an easy day, hard day. Easy day means conversation pace. That's your aerobics, so that's the easy day. Hard day is considered if you can't put more than 5 words together in harder breathing, that's your hard day. So I just wanted to clarify what hard day, easy day meant. And again, harder breathing. And long runs, if you're doing a long distance training, you want an easy day. Again, long runs on trails, and if you do a lot of hills, it builds endurance and strength. When I did marathons, before I got into long distance trail running, I did a long run on flat roads, and that built endurance, but the benefit of doing it on trails with hills is you're building strength at the same time. Now, I wanted to demonstrate a couple techniques when doing trail runs, long runs with a lot of hills. I want to show you, demonstrate a technique of going uphill. It's very important. So I'm just going to move over to this table over here. I'm just going to demonstrate to you when you're going uphill, and again, it's a long and slow run, so you want it to be nice and easy. You don't run them. For one thing, your heart rate is going to go too high, but the best technique is going from heel to toe and putting your hands on your quad. So heel, toe, hands on the quad. Or another way, you can go heel, toe, and pump your arms. And one thing, never do this when you're going uphill. Don't go up here like this. You're just right out of form. So the best way is heel, toe, hands on your quads. That's the best way. Now, going downhill. Beautiful technique going downhill. Be duck-like. Sort of get a better foundation. Go duck-like. You don't want to go straight ahead, heel, toe. Get a lot of ankle sprains that way. But remember, put your left foot 11 o'clock position, right foot on the 1 o'clock position. If you could just remember that, that's the best way to go downhill. Duck-like. Remember that, duck-like. All right, so we got that covered now. Number 4. This is a big one. Always take a day off. Don't run 7 days a week. You need rest. Everyone does. Most, after a long run, probably the best day to take the day off is the day after. Now, cross training. Good idea to do cross training. I love my trails, but I can't do trails every day. So what I've done, and I recommend this to a lot of people, I cross train and I go on the elliptical trainer 3 times a week. And I complement that with doing upper body weights. And upper body weights, I do it for high intense for 20 minutes. Using compound movements. Now, where I got that idea is from check out a guy named Vic Maygary. Check him out on his website. He's fantastic stuff. It's user-friendly, and he tells it, bottom line, how to do weights properly. But high intensity for about 20 minutes using compound movements. Back in when I was training for my first Leadville 2002, my trainer for weights, when I mentioned to him there's a lot of hills, you're going to be doing a lot of hills, and he mentioned, of course, do upper body weights only, but then he mentioned it was really interesting, a treadmill exercise for the hip flexors, because if you're going to do a lot of hip, so the hip flexor one, it was just a great exercise, and I want to demonstrate to you guys how that works. On a treadmill, in a gym, basically, here's the treadmill. I'm going to show you that. Here's the treadmill. This is you. All right. Now what you do is you hop on each corner and in the center front, what you do at 5 degrees incline, you hop 30 times on each X here. 30 times here, then you flip over on the side, and then you hop 30 times. Then you hop over and you turn around going, on each corner you hop 30 times, and you do it 2 sets at 5 degrees incline, 5-degree incline. After you do the set, then you go 10% incline. 2 sets again, and then the third at 15-degree incline, 2 sets of 30. When I did that training, I went to Leadville for a training weekend 7 weeks before the actual race. And that first day we did a 25-mile run. That next day, a lot of people, there was about 70 of us at this training camp, and the next day a lot of people were just hurting. Their quads were hurting, their hip flexors were hurting, and I felt terrific. And that exercise alone really helped me a lot. So again, treadmill, hip flexor exercise, one of the best. Now, cross training, I touched on elliptical training. What I liked about the elliptical, it's a total body workout. Another one is if you can do the rower. That's probably the 2 best apparatuses at any gym. Those are the 2. Number 7, number 8, here, recovery. Here's a big one, recovery after a race. Rule of thumb I use, for every mile of racing, I take 1 easy day of running. So equivalent of the 50K, you finished a 50K, which is approximately 31 miles. So for 31 days, do 40-minute easy runs. That is the key, probably one of the keys why I've only had 1 injury. And the big thing, and I wanted to go back to you again about talking about going heel-toe movements, because a lot of people, there's a tendency when you're climbing, there's a tendency to go on your forefoot, and a lot of people get plantar fasciitis or Achilles problems. And that was the only injury. I mentioned a couple times that I had 1 injury. That was the injury. And what I did years ago, this is about 13 years ago, I was doing hill repeats, short hill repeats, but of course it was a higher intensity, so I had a tendency to go on my heel, on my forefoot. So I started doing 10 repeats, and I built myself up to 20 repeats. Well, bottom line, after 6 months, I got plantar fasciitis. So I went to a professional practitioner. He mentioned to me, you don't, for one thing, start at 10 repeats, you finish at 10 repeats. So I did it completely wrong. So that was my injury. But again, I was doing a lot with my forefoot. So if you remember, for long distance training in ultras, heel-toe for your long runs. That's very important. Okay, number 10 here, another, what can we talk about now, which I haven't, interesting thing that happened to me and my wife and a friend. We did a sweat test at the Pacific Institute for Sports Excellence in Victoria, and we just were curious to see on hydration and on how much sweat we do. But anyhow, we went on a treadmill for 45 minutes, and big interesting stat is that the amount of sweat I did over 25 minutes compared to what I drank is, I thought I drank a lot of water and I really stressed a lot of water, but I wasn't even drinking half the water I should have. So that was an interesting stat. As for the sodium, I am pretty good at that. I take these S-caps every hour when I have runs for more than 2 hours. So that's very important. Now, let's see what else. What else after a long run? Recovery, mentioned that. Hydration. The water intake, bottom line, what I learned on that, make sure your urine is light beer color. That's when you know you're hydrated. Any darker, that means you're dehydrated. Very important. Now, let's see here what else we talked about. I did mention Vic Mayberry. He's got a really good website, so check him out there. And right now, book recommendation for today, for this week. A great book. It's called The Art of Happiness. This is by Dalai Lama, and he did it with Dr. Howard Cutler. But this is one of my books from my library of classics, just to let you know, a very good read. And another interesting thing, and I do a lot of reading, but I found out they did a survey and they found 100 of the happiest people in the world. 2 common things. They all do some type of meditation. Getting some rest, doing some stuff, getting off the treadmill of life. And the second thing, they live their passion. So those are the 2 common things. They do some form of meditation and live their passion. I found that very interesting. So the next future blogs, I'm going to be sharing what I think is cool, what I think is crappy, and what I think is interesting. So that'll be, I'll be doing that too on a regular basis. And again, as always, post any questions or if you have any comments to me directly. I'd love to answer your questions you have. And remember, the trail guy. Take care.